Usually I find a short story to help grab the audience or to help propel the message home. 2 weeks ago, I spoke to seniors during the academic signing day about grit, the ability to possess perseverance and passion for long-term goals. And while I feel that that message is critical to your success, I wanted something more, something epic to say tonight. So that intense process I talked about is really me feeling ultimately responsible for sending you off to the next chapter of your life with a tool that will help sustain and keep you successful, pressing towards your mark. I searched and I searched for that provocative attention getter, only to discover that the story that I was searching for was my own. You see, this graduating class is special to me because most of the students started with me on my journey here at Academics Plus Charter School District. You all have seen me grow, develop, learn, struggle, laugh, and maybe even some of you have seen me cry. That story is worth hearing about. Why, might you ask? Well, because as many of you know, we have come leaps and bounds from where we were just 4 years ago. That success can't just be attributed to talented, smart people working towards one common goal, who know science, math, English, and history, but to a team who would not, at any cost, give up, who refused to accept mediocrity. That's a story worth telling. Because at the end of the day, the story you have, the life that you lead, the legacy of your influence rests on how well an organization, a school, a club, a job, or even people exist after you have left. So graduates, as I said to you on academic signing day, it's not about who you know or what you have or who your parents know, but about what will you do? What will the life that you live say about the legacy that you choose to leave behind? How will Maumelle Charter High School, how will Academics Plus Charter School District function better because of the way you carried yourself while you were here? Maybe for some of you instantly that's a scary thought, but don't worry, I have a solution. Your intelligence, your good grade, your high marks on test scores has definitely given you a certain level of success. But the question will be, how will you sustain that success? The consistency of your tenacity, in other words, perseverance and grit, will determine the degree in which you ignite and sustain that success. So now for your equipment, the tools that you'll need for your forward momentum. When I think about my own story, these characteristics stood out for me the most. They were the lifelines when my skills failed me, when my intelligence couldn't reach, where what I had learned couldn't carry me any further. First is conscientiousness. Conscientiousness is the personality trait of being careful or vigilant. It means a desire to do a task well. Conscientious people are effective and organized, as opposed to easygoing and disorderly. Simply put, it is important to commit to go for the goal rather to just show up for practice. Follow through. There's that word again, to persevere. So after the failure, begin again, and again, and again. Continue to put intentional effort and follow through to any endeavor. Resilience. It's what gives you the courage to get back up and dust off. It's the ability of people to maintain their core purpose, their why, and integrity among unforeseen circumstances. In the words of Denzel Washington, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Resilience is a dynamic combination of optimism and the belief that you have the ability to change the world around you. Excellence versus perfection. Perfection is someone else's perception of an ideal, but excellence, that's an attitude, not an end game. The word excellence is derived from the Greek word arte, which is bound from the notion of fulfillment of purpose or function. It's closely associated with virtue. So, there's that word again, the word why. We'll get to that in a minute. Lastly, courage. More specifically, your ability to manage fear and failure is a direct correlation to how successful you will be. Sounds strange? Well, there are valuable lessons in defeat. Be prepared to embrace failure, because failure will only have victory when you choose to focus on your loss and not to learn from your mistakes. I would never be here standing before you if I was not prepared and comfortable with failing. I've failed so many times, but it was only in those failures that I learned something about me, who I was, and more importantly, about who I needed to be. Teddy Roosevelt, a champion of grit, in his address in 1907 to Sorbonne, he stated, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes again and again, because there is no effort without error and no shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause." There's that why again. So let me read that again to you. "Who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of the high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly." When I look back over this journey at the times that I did fail, I did because I took the focus off of why I was doing the job, opposed to what I was doing. The moment that you focus on how what you're doing brings you something, whether it be money, accolades, promotion, or recognition, and you stop remembering the reason why you want to be who you are or why you want to do this, you lose the very essence of your existence. When you focus on the what, your obsession becomes production. What number am I? What position do I have? How much do I get? How much did I produce? The danger in that is that you give yourself the opportunity to be satisfied with a number and an end result. It is the why that keeps you ever striving to impact more, to affect more, to change everything. My why is you. You are what drives me, what drives us. You are what motivates us. You are what sustains us and gives us purpose. When you don't have anything else to give, when you're tired, and the thought of you needing us is what pushes and propels us to do a little bit more. In those moments, we realize that we are responsible for far more than ourselves. This story is everyone's story. One common thread is why. Why am I here? Why am I chosen? The anguish of searching and not finding is the cause of many of our restlessness, until you discover the why. And it's there when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at start to change. So my challenge, my charge to you, to graduates, to everyone listening, smile through your tears. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation. Stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. Work like you don't need the money. Love like you've never been hurt. And dance like nobody's watching. Ruthlessly work on the masterpiece you are becoming. Never give up the fight. Persevere and find your why. Thank you. Okay, the moment we've been waiting for, graduates, if you would please rise. Audience, if you would please stand at this time.